and this was introduced at WWDC 2022. So like how the grid works is you define your grid and where you want the cells to be aligned. So right now it's aligned to dot leading. So you see how cat, goldfish, and dog are all the same. Great. If you go and erase that and you just do like the default, you'll notice that cat, goldfish, and dog actually start to be like center aligned, right? Not only is there dot leading, there's also an alignment for a dot trailing as well. So you'll see it start to be like right aligned. So that's kind of what it's doing, is inside each of the columns, it's going to align those items. Now you can go ahead and override that on a per column basis if you want to. Everything inside a GridRow is a column at this point. So basically all this code is doing, and I'm just redescribing Apple's code here, I didn't code this. But all this is doing is it's saying, hey, we're gonna build a grid and then go through whatever's in the model for the pets array and build a GridRow that has 3 different columns. We have the text column, the progress view column, and the text votes. And how it's getting the size is based on the largest item in that column size that it needs. So like a text size, like in SwiftUI, is literally just going to take up as much space as it needs, right? It doesn't get any smaller, it doesn't get any bigger. It is what it is for the text. Now a progress view grows and shrinks for whatever you can. So think of it like a geometry reader. A geometry reader is going to take up the entire space, as much space as you'll let it. Whereas a text, again, like I said, it just takes up as little space as it can. Same with like a VStack. If you ever want to take a VStack to go full height, you always have to put that spacer in, because a VStack just shrinks to take up whatever space is inside of it, right? Same thing for a text view. So how the GridRow determined the size is based off of the largest space needed for the text inside that first column. The second column says, hey, just take up as much space as possible. And the last column takes up, again, as much space as it absolutely needs to. So let's go adjust that model real quick. Just for funsies. Whoa, that's way too many leaderboards, y'all. Let's go in here. And let's say the pets.vote preview data. Where is preview data? Hey, Dobby, can you stop? Oh, preview data. So it's just equal to index. Let's do index plus 10. And that way it just increases the number. So you can see the progress view starts to get smaller and smaller as you need more space for the column there for the votes, right? So like I said, this top part here aligns each of the columns. You can also override the alignment. So now you can see the 99. See, it's all leading. It's all paying attention to this leading alignment up here. When you hit the dot grid alignment trailing, it overrides it just for that one column now. It's not for the whole column. Yeah, so that's very, very easy as to how grid works. You can also span multiple columns if you wanted. Let's say we wanted to add another row of text, hello, and then text, world. Cool. This world ends with this column. So like if I were to add another column, hey, like see, it all gets aligned, right, correctly. So if we were to just have a hello, it's going to stay aligned with this one column. How we can see that a little bit more is if I put trailing in, see that it's still, because we're aligning all the columns with this trailing, it's still aligned over here on the right. Now that is because text hello is in that first column. So now let's say we wanted to span it all 3 columns. Let's just say we wanted hello to be at the very end of the column, right underneath the votes, right? You could do a dot grid and there's a cell columns, and this is going to be the number of columns you want to span. So let's do 3 because we want to span all 3 columns. And now hello is all the way at the far right. But that messed up the alignment for cat, goldfish, dog. So let's put that as leading again. And then we can do grid, column alignment, trailing. No, is it not going to work now? Wow. I would have expected that to work. So never mind. That doesn't work. I'm perplexed why that doesn't work. Does it work if I do this? Hold on, y'all. Ignore what I just said, but that was a good little time. Okay. Interesting that I could apply it. I guess why that works would be, here's my guess as to why that works. This grid cell columns, like, does it actually, I'm guessing it doesn't actually make 3 unique columns for you to align on. I'm guessing it just says take up this entire width, or take up the width that's available for if you were 3 columns, and therefore it messes up the grid column alignment down here. That's odd. That's not what I expected to happen, but no, I know that's how that happens, and that's an interesting like take there. But yeah, so that's the basics of how like grid works. Feel free, like, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'd be super happy to answer them. This is about, as far as my knowledge goes, I've yet to use grid on like an actual project yet. I was really tempted to use it in iHog's like keypads. But I figured out a different way to achieve what I wanted to achieve with like aspect ratios. The issue with grid is that there's no like cache system in it, or like it's not lazy. So it really needs to like draw all its items at once, which if you have a lot of data, that's a really bad thing to do, right? You don't want to like draw, like, let's say again, your Instagram, right? You have all these photos and videos that, you know, the videos play in line. We're not going to do that. I don't even want to do photos. So we're definitely not going to do that tonight. But yeah, so these videos play as you scroll, right? So like, you don't want to draw this in a grid unless you have some kind of really big, heavy caching system going on, because it'll want to draw all of that. And, you know, Instagram like infinitely scrolls. So that would be like a really bad performance case in that case. We're not going to be using grid. Like